What's up, everybody? We're about to end this chat. My phone died this time. Now I'm on the iPad that died the first time, which is crazy. But we're about to end the chat, and I'm gonna give y'all a few things that the Miami Dolphins, before I leave, they have to be consistent with going forward in order for this all to work. All right, in order for us to follow this. What's up, Bob Money? But let me go ahead. I'm gonna get off of my high horse, man. Especially the one that some of y'all think I have as far as your comments. But I'm gonna get off the high horse and I'm gonna talk about what we need to do going forward before I get out of here for the day. We're gonna talk about what we need to do going forward. What we need to do to be consistent in what the secrets that they need to follow. Okay. Now, first and foremost, we have to have a great scouting department, which according to the league census, we do. We have to be some of the best scouters for young, low-costing talent, because the truth is you want to avoid having to give people big money anytime, unless they're willing to take less than what they can get. You have to move on from them and follow that principle. So you got to constantly be able to bring in great talent, okay? Number two, you have to be consistent and not get out of your system just because the situation dictates it. Hey, if the situation dictates it, you take that loss, but you hold on to the foundation that you have. Like, for instance, if we have a Super Bowl winning team right now and our quarterback goes down, you don't just go off the cuff and just go try to get another quarterback. You stay, and that's going to impact your team for the future. You stay with what you got right now. It was just a bad situation, and you try to be better at having a backup that can get the job done too, going forward. But not replace. And this ain't got nothing to do with Tannehill because he was costing too much. But this is going forward. Also, we have to stay consistent with looking for players with good hands, feet, and eyes. Hands, feet, and eyes. They have to have those great things and not skew outside of that just because they're a top pick or something like that. You got to go with the players. This better player, according to college people, may say that he's the better prospect coming out, but you got to stick to what you know of a good player at that position needs, and we got to draft that way and go after free agents that way. The most important one, just never overpay. Just never overpay. never overpay. Build a humble chemistry and camaraderie in the organization. So remember, never paying is a big part of that. What's this? You bring me your telescope? No, put it back where it belongs. Put it up, okay? Never overpay. All right? Outside of that, guys, evaluate your talent fairly. Evaluate your talent fairly. Josh Rosen's talent wasn't evaluated fairly. You put a quarterback in the system with a bad O-line and you want to say that he is who he is based off of that? Just so unfair. Just so unfair. No analyst in the NFL could say that Patrick Mahomes, if he had the same line, he would have threw 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns. Guys, I don't care if he threw 4,949. It made a difference. See, that's what people got to understand. It makes a difference. So nobody can say that it doesn't make a difference. So you cannot say that you evaluated a guy if what's around him isn't conducive to bring out his best. The only way you know who a person is putting them in a position where you can see his best. You got to see his best. Because once you see his best, you know what you got. Now the goal of a team is let's work to put him in a position where he's always his best. He's always his best. Always his best. That's what a team is supposed to be working towards. And I've proved that over and over, and I'm not going to go over it over and over. I proved that with the Kaepernicks of the world, the Cam Newks, the Russell Wilsons, the RG3s. When they had Dak Prescott's, Jared Goff, when they had everything they needed around them, they're at their best. And then all of a sudden they get their big deal and they can't afford to have everything around them. They turn into mediocre and upper echelon mediocre at the best. But lucky them. At least the team got to see them in their best. So they constantly strive to keep them at their best by putting things around them. But they're not realizing the main thing that's hurting it is how much you're paying that guy. How much you're paying. Because you'll never be able to put him in a perfect situation because of how much he gets paid. You never can. You just can't. You'll come close. You'll come close. But you just don't get it done. Just don't get it done. The Rams just don't get it done. The Chiefs just couldn't get it done. The Chargers been chasing that all their life. They saw their quarterback at his best. He's our guy forever. But the money you pay him would never allow him to have the pieces around him to get it done. It'll be good enough for you to threaten the playoffs every year. But I know the Chargers fans are tired of not winning it because they got their quarterback. We were tired of not winning it with Dan Marino. We had our quarterback. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you all. Follow the money. It's not about what the market dictates. It's about what you should get based off of the salary cap. What the market dictates is actually 2 times what you should be getting. And the losing teams are the ones who's dictating the market. So we got to stop following their direction and focusing on what you got to pay a player to keep them. That's what the market tells you. Wealthy people only buy deals. They only buy deals. The Patriots are wealthy. They're getting a deal in Tom Brady. They're getting a deal in every single 8-rated player on their roster. And the biggest deal of all that they get is winning. Let me tell you why. When you win, the rest of the players around them don't mind. They don't mind staying at $8 million knowing that they can go get more. Amendola did it for a long time, and the one time he says, I'm going to go get my payday this time because I know this is closer to the end of my career. I might only have 3 years left. I'm going to go get my payday instead of just staying to win. He missed out on the championship. But at some point, I get it. Go get your money. Go get your money. And the saddest thing is it had to be the Dolphins to give it to him. It just shows you where we were. Shows you where we were. And now you understand when Stephen Ross says, why did you fire Gase? Because he wanted to win right now. Gase didn't even understand that, even to this day. That's why I know with the Jets, it's going to be tough. They're going to be overpaying and stuff like that because he's going to be in agreements with it. He don't even understand because when they asked him about that in New York, he came back and said, I don't understand why he said because I wanted to win. That showed me he didn't understand. He didn't understand the mind of Stephen Ross, a wealthy man. You wanted it all now. You saw a 10 player and you figure, hey, we can get him. All that free agency when we went through all those injuries, there were some 10 players we could have traded for. Look at all these reports coming out. Dolphins were in serious talks for that person. But talks fumbled because Dolphins weren't even serious about offering enough. Because Greer was saying, no, here's all our offer. And Gase was like, and what told me that is when Gase literally said out his own mouth at free agency, well, Adam Gase, do you think at the deadline, you think they're going to go get somebody to get help on the O-line? No, I don't think we're getting any help. He said it out his own mouth. I don't think we're going to get anybody in free agency. Now, aren't you supposed to constantly be working on trying to make deals? But he came out in front of the press conference, we're not getting anybody, because I already know they had already spat it. The evidence suggests that he said, man, look at these guys right here. Those are ready to go guy. They ready to give them up for a 3rd-round pick or whatever it may have been. Let's go pull the trigger. And Greer's like, you want us to give away our future, a 3rd-rounder, plus pay this guy that salary, that major salary, and then you're not even considering the fact that why are they getting rid of him? Yeah, he's great because they're tired of paying the salary. It's getting him nowhere. I'm not falling down that road. I'm going to start this rebuild now while we're with you still. I already gave you the team you wanted. I'm not digging into it just because we're desperate right now at this moment to make a brash move. All right, let me trade this pick. Let me trade our 2nd-round pick for this. Let me trade that. Now we got good guys again. Do y'all think we were going to win a Super Bowl anyway? You see what I mean? Not whenever you ain't got nobody opposite Xavier Howard. Not when your linebacker's still not. See, you trying to fix the problems that we had from injuries, but it ain't like our linebacking core was great. It ain't like we had another cornerback opposite Xavier. It ain't like we had consistent quarterback play. You see what I mean? You trying to fix the things we had an injury on, but even without the injury, linebacker and cornerback, we still had to address when we talk about a Super Bowl. And yet a fan me, we can get it done. We can do something special. But that's what it was about. Gase didn't even realize that. When Stephen Ross said the reason why he fired him because he wanted to win now, if you put all the evidence together, it suggests, don't mean I'm factual. When I hear these guys, I'm basing it off of what I'm hearing coming out of their mouth, and I put it all together, it paints a picture for me. Ross is like, you want to go ahead and levy the future to try to win now. Just because you saw it. So, and what confirmed that for me was Adam Gase in that press conference. No, we're not going to pick up any help. And the way he said it was kind of like a snazzy. They're like, we're not going to pick up any help. We're going to have the guys we got, and we got to go forward with it. Like, we got to go forward with it. We're not going to pick up any help. I don't see that happening. Because and when you saying it like that, it tells me that you already done stated your opinion and what you needed, and you're really kind of upset you're not getting it. But at the end of the day, I'm the coach. I've been told, coach what I give you. And I'm a coach what you give me. That's what it is, man. We gotta pay attention to the day in and day out politics of what's happening throughout the coaching staff, the words they say. And when I listen to their interview, that's why I don't watch them live. Because live makes you just emotional. I like this guy, or I like that, or I like this, I like that. Half of the stuff they say is crap. That's why you got to take your time and evaluate it. Okay, he's talking like this about Tannehill, but one thing I knew, the reason why I say I already know the money is too bad for Tannehill. He's not going to be here. But I kept on arguing. So all y'all liars, don't sit here and say, oh, TD say Tannehill going to be on the roster next year, this all season. When they won that Super Bowl, it wasn't likely for him to be on the roster. But don't mistake that because some of y'all will be like, yeah, you did. You say he would be on the roster. I said, no, he's on the roster right now, so he's our quarterback. And none of us know. I went on this guess trip. I kept saying, y'all guessing. You don't know. He could very well be on it. I don't think he is because of the salary, but y'all guessing right now. We still don't know. But I kept on it, and hey, y'all were right, but you were guessing. You were guessing because they never gave us an answer. Flores then was smart enough to talk good about Tannehill and then one interview that Flores had showed me it ain't even about Tannehill. It's about the money that they let him go. He said in the media, well, I think, you guys put too much on the quarterback and not realize the things that the quarterback needs around him to be successful. These are Flores' words. His very own words. About a month after he got the job, and they kept asking him about Tannehill. I look at his film and people talk about how many times he got sacked, but they're not looking at on film how many times, this broke down, which caused the sack. That caused the sack. Of course, quarterback, he may have had his own faults in some areas, but that was when he was talking about Tannehill. A quarterback has his faults in his areas, but a lot of people don't look at the things that's causing it. And I made a video about that, preaching the same thing. Look, the evidence is in front of us. And this ain't about Tannehill right now. It's about our future quarterback. Because Rosen might go through the same situation. Rosen may be better than he was with the Cardinals, but it may not translate to being just awesomely great. But we'll be like, yes, man, he wasn't great, so let's go get Tua. And then if we pass on Tua and keep Rosen and go get a left tackle to replace Tunsil or a right tackle to help Tunsil or whatever we do, y'all gonna scream to your lungs and say, oh, what are we doing? Why would we pass on Tua? Because the coach is thinking just like me. Or I'm thinking like them. And my conclusions are correct. They don't see Rosen as the problem. They saw a quarterback that got better, but again, the situation around him didn't help him much. And we always, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Because you don't even understand why they're doing it. You got to give this kid a chance. Why you think they believed in Tannehill so long? First year, okay, he's a quarterback. He ain't do enough to kill us, but it ain't like he was lights out. He don't complete great on the long ball, and he gets sacked a lot. But second year, he's doing a little better. I could see the improvement. Ain't nobody debate, whenever I go down Tannehill's timeline, nobody debates me because they know it's true. He doing a little better. It still ain't Brady-esque because all we got is the Brady picture who's surrounded by 8. You see what I mean? All we got is Brady's picture in our head who's surrounded by 8s everywhere. So that's our bar. And we always do our quarterbacks a disservice by comparing him to that bar. When Brady was never compared to that bar. Brady just had a whole bunch of 8s. So there never was a bar. He had the luxury to set it. He had the luxury to set it. Of showing you what a middle of the road quarterback can look like if you just put 8s all around him. 7s and 8s. All around him. They used to tell the Dolphins for years. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. They used to tell the Dolphins for years. They'll never win until they get an elite receiver. Y'all remember we couldn't find an elite receiver for the longest? They need an elite receiver. That's when they start winning out and they got the Brandon Marshalls of the world. Y'all remember that? Still caught a lot of balls, still had great hands. And the longer he was with us, he dropped a few. It started to get a little rough in the red zone. You see what I mean? It was always, he's nothing without, the Dolphins will never be nothing because they can never get their quarterback receivers. Y'all remember that? Tannehill was delivering the ball. Then they got the receiver. He was catching it. And it wasn't just Tannehill, it was other people. Talk about, if I'm not mistaken, the Chad Henney's of the world, all those guys. They'll never get the receiver. And what do you say about the Patriots? They never had the receiver. They just got an 8. But the media tell you they never get a 10 elite receiver. They never get an elite receiver. But the Patriots never did. Tell me when the Patriots had an elite receiver. I ain't talking about tight end. Kudos to them. Name the elite receiver outside of Randy Moss. Because there was so many more years without Randy Moss than there was with him. Didn't need him. But we follow the current at the time. We ain't never got an elite this. That's what we need. Then we go after that. Then we spend money that hurts another position. Then all it does is paint the picture for that position. Oh, we suck at that. Then we go spend money on that. And it taken away from another position that was already a 7 out of 10. Now we done dropped it to a 5. Just to make that from a 5 to a 7. Now we talking about the cornerbacks. We can never get at cornerbacks. Then we go to Sean Smith and Vontae Davis route. First round picks and stuff. You see what I mean? We're doing the same thing over and over, y'all. The evidence is right in front of us. Everything we keep doing, we got evidence of the past. It's right in front of us, man. It is right in front of us. Right in front of us, man. The insanity is right in front of us. And the truth is, a lot of the draft picks we've had, a lot of them went to other teams and blossomed. Ted Ginn looked better on other teams. Vontae Davis, when he first left, looked better. Sean Smith looked better. All these guys go to other teams and blossom. And that's more evidence right in front of you because it was never the player. It was the team you've been building and the overpayments all across the board. Just to fix the area, you overpay every time to make a splash in Miami. It was never those players. It was never those players, y'all. Never. Even Lamar Miller had more success. Do you know how many players used to be a Dolphin that had more success? And that's where I get the coaches. Look how many coaches we've been through. I used to say, be patient. Stop giving up on these coaches. It's not even some of them. It wasn't even some of those coaches, y'all. We just kept on having lopsided teams. 6 positions on the team overpaid, which making the other ones trash. The evidence. That's all I'm trying to show y'all. The evidence is right in front of you. Sean Smith got words. So you know what? You're right. But again, he might have been a bad pickup, or we don't know. He could have went to another team that overspent on him, and he was just worse. Because same thing. The crazy thing is, if Sean Smith would have paid for the Patriots, he might have actually been good. Or he just was bad because he didn't have the things that a player like him needed, and it was a bad draft pick. But the biggest problem is a lot of these decisions that we made, we don't even know if it was a good outcome. We don't know if it was a good decision or not because we never had the... It's like buying a brand new something that's just amazing, but battery's not included. And you expect that thing to work just as good without the batteries. You see, that's all we do over and over. We live the batteries not included life. And the problem is we don't even buy the batteries. We just we'll buy. Do you know how many parents, I've been in people's houses, man. Do you know how many parents will buy their kid a race car? and they kid on the floor, vroom, vroom, and I turn that thing over and they come with batteries, and it ain't even got no batteries in it, and it was brand new. It ain't like they used batteries, they died, and they let them just play with it normally. That's what we doing with our team. Buying products where batteries are needed and overpaying for those products. Overpaying for a product that don't have everything included. That's all we doing. Look how much money Olivier Vernon stole from the Giants. Point exactly. How about Charles Clay with Buffalo? You see what I mean? He could have been a good, decent, middle of the road tight end long term. He went and got his money. The team didn't do well at all. So he never got, if he would have took a $3 million less per year and the team would have been successful, they would have been talking about, ever since they picked up Charles Clay and X, Y, and Z. No, he was still decent. You get what you pay for. Don't get me wrong. You get what you pay for. He still was productive for them at first. But when the team still sucks, you don't go on and elevate and still have a great, memorable career. Because you could have been above a great on another. All you were going to do is give yourself exposure for injury, playing with scrubs all around you. You got to put in more work than you should. Is not the evidence right here in front of us, man? And people want to argue with me about the evidence. Is the evidence not right here in front of you? I'm giving you example after example after example. It's ones that you all can relate with because it happened to us. It happened to us. But I got to sit back and watch the national TV, and these people that don't know nothing about my team talk bad about them all the time and give us a reason why we bad, and they couldn't be more wrong. And every time they wrong. Because every time we go address the situation that they say is our number one downfall, it don't do nothing for us. The Dolphins will continue to be a bad organization until they find this, until they find that. Maybe it ain't finding the quarterback or the finding of this and that. Maybe it's just putting eights all around everybody. The cornerbacks look better because they playing with eights all across the field. They playing with a 8 help side. Think about it. A cornerback that says, I got a safety back there that's an 8. I'm an 8. Cornerbacks don't go into it like, trust me when I tell you, a cornerback who has a trash safety already know he ain't gonna eat. Already know he ain't gonna eat. You know why? If I get beat, like Xavier Howard, if I get beat like he does sometimes, and Rashad Jones back there on help side picking it off or batting it down, they never look at me from the beginning. They never say, oh, I got beat and Rashad Jones helped me out. Yeah, they never say, oh, X, that's a problem. They never say that. They just say, look at Rashad Jones with the play. They don't talk about everything that happened in the play. They don't. When the middle linebacker got a defensive tackle, we got an elite defensive tackle, oh, they excited. He's going to make me look better. My stock in this NFL is going to be better, even if I'm not. If our D-line is number 1 in the league, and the truth is we're some 5 rated out of 10 cornerbacks, they make us look like 7s. They got the national media talking about, look at this defense. They know how to get at the quarterback. And then the secondary gives them time to get at the quarterback. No, they don't. They just get at the quarterback, and it makes the secondary look that great. And now the secondary they got an easier job. They can play a little closer to the defender to not get killed in the short game. Because most of the long game, it's like playing against the Dolphins. Yes, I could play a little more bump and run or 3 yards off the defender instead of 7. Because I ain't really worried about anything getting over the top because we're going to get at their quarterback every time. Do you see all the attributable benefits these players are excited about? You think a running back going to come to Miami behind a trash line? No, unless you're going to overpay him. There's a catch to everything. But for some reason, we got some people that don't care about the catch. They don't care about the catch. They don't care about it. And then they wonder why they keep losing, the blame keeps switching for them. The blame keeps switching for them. we're good, man. The Dolphins are doing the right thing. We headed in the right direction. We got the people right now that understand. I think Flores and Greer are on the same page. Flores done outlined this is what it takes from to Stephen Ross, and he gets it and he buys in. I think we have a front office that understands everything that I'm telling y'all today. That's how they think. And the only reason I say that's how they think and say that with conviction is because I got that thinking from everything that they've said. These are the conclusions based off of the things that have come out of their mouth. Now, if they're wrong at the end of the day, we're able to hold them 100% accountable. We followed that path. We didn't overpay for anyone. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. We got great players with hands, arms, feet. Now we know that the problem ain't the personnel, it's one of y'all, or it's your whole plan. See, you don't fire somebody without providing accountability. I'm glad we fired Adam Gase because he don't believe in what we believe in, but the truth is we didn't have any accountability. How you gonna hold him accountable for not giving him the things he needs? Now, if it's proven for a fact to come out, because I'm giving you my theory based off of what they said, if it's a proven for a fact that he was arguing against what I'm talking about right now, then yeah, I'm glad you fired him. Okay, that makes sense. But that's the only thing that makes sense to me. And that's why my conclusions get drawn down that line. We got to stop letting people off the hook. We got to know the ins and outs about our organization and why they make the moves they make. We can't say, oh, I'm glad they fired Gase and don't know the real reason why. We can't sit here and listen to the people that don't know football and be like, oh, because he sucks, man. Look at he did this, he didn't do that. I mean, don't have no real, it's just football reasons. Just general reasons that really ain't being factual. No, I want to know the ins and outs. What was your thought process on why you fired him? And when I hear our owner say because he wanted to win now, let me dive into that. What does he mean by he wants to win now? I'm not stopping at, oh, because he lost us too many games, he's not a winning coach. No. You know how many great coaches there are that aren't winning right now, but might end up being one of the greatest? Because their situation. Their situation. I want to know why? You doing any basketball game tonight? I decided with my wife because, you know, especially with the accident, a lot of stuff that we dealing with these vehicles and stuff like that, I just want to give her happiness and enamor her with greatness. So, honestly, as far as tonight, oh, Lord, hopefully I ain't lose y'all. There we go. As far as tonight, we've been catching up on Game of Thrones. I really been catching the score. I told her we're going to watch Game of Thrones for the next few nights together. But in the next round, the conference championships, I'll be streaming all the basketball games. Just trying to, you know, bring some happiness to others in the house. My spirits may be lifted, even though my body's in pain. My spirits may be lifted, but it don't mean everybody else's spirits are just at its highest. So it's my job as the man of the house to make sure I'm helping everybody's spirits get lifted. At least I think that's my responsibility. And I'm going to follow that, you know, because it can't hurt me. It can't go the wrong way. So that's what we're doing. But I had to go live today. Make sure I talk to y'all, man. Because this conversation excited me. If y'all didn't hear this whole conversation, I suggest y'all go back from the beginning. And I know it's long. I already know it's long, y'all. It's 3 videos, man. One of them's an hour, the other's 2 hours, and then we got this one going. I know it's long, but just listen to it in its entirety, man. I know it's long. Some of y'all gonna hit me up in the comment section. Oh, I love the video, but 2 hours, bro, I couldn't get through it. Whatever it is, that's fine. But go back and listen, man, because we need to get on the same page. And if you disagree, like I said earlier, ain't nothing wrong with that. But at least do your due diligence as a Dolphin fan who really care to go get some facts, man. Let's really understand why our team's going through what we're going through, man. Let's understand it, man. Let's stop doing, we got evidence in front of us showing us why we're doing the same thing over and over. It ain't like we're just doing it and we're still trying to figure it out. No, we got enough evidence that we know what to do. There's enough evidence in front of us to tell us we know what to do. We know what we need to stop doing. This ain't a case of we still trying to figure it out. No, we got 20 years of failing data of every scenario you can name. You know, we got that. Oh, that wasn't it. Oh, we got that. That was a problem. That wasn't really it. We got that, and that wasn't the problem. We got 20 years. We know what it is. Let's get smart, man. If we gonna get to this Super Bowl, I think we got the right people to do it in our front office and our whole organization. But this TD Fans Talk, man, I'm out of here, man. I gotta go to the chiropractor today and stuff. So I'm out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all love and support, man.